And we've arrived at the SAC Aerospace Museum here in Ashland, Nebraska. Ooh. Hello everybody and welcome to Ashland, Nebraska. We're at the SAC Air Museum here, and it's going to be an exciting little journey through here.
Radiation belts. So it was used to launch.
Why do they call it a bomb then when it's not a bomb at all?
It's not a bomb.
Why do they call it a bomb?
It's a rocket booster.
Why is the rocket booster so powerful? Are we going?
Can you see in the window what's in there? And sideway up to the U.S. Air Force SR-71 Blackbird.
Wow.
They put it on concrete columns over there. See the giant engines? You see that engine over there in the corner, Matthew?
Yeah.
That's the engine for just one engine of this, and it is the size of our car. The fastest airplane in the world. You see that red square up there, Matthew? Up on top of the airplane? Right there? That's where the refueling probe would go in and they'd refuel it. As soon as they take off, they get up in the air, they'd have to go get refueled. Because it took that much fuel to get off the ground. This is the view outside from the inside. Look at this massive structure. It's a Fire Bee missile. The AQM-34L from Northrop Grumman.
Is that a shark missile?
Yeah. Well, it's painted like that. It used to be orange. So what they would do is launch this missile up in the air, and then they launch fighter pilots in their airplanes to go and hunt it down with missiles. So they would target practice.
And what's that little thing?
That's a smaller version called a MACE, surface-to-surface missile. So that's actually a missile, it's not a drone. Look, this is the underside of the SR-71.
It's like as big as our house.
Now when they put this aircraft on the stick like this, the fuel cells, that's the fuel tanks for the aircraft, used to have fuel in them, and they couldn't have the fuel in them when they brought it here, so they had to put sealant in the tanks. But these aircraft leaked constantly, and so even the sealant leaked out a little bit. You can see it up there. Yeah. So what would happen is they would, as they heat up, as they go up way high in altitude, they'd almost touch space. And the outside of the skin got so hot it would expand. So they had to engineer where the skin could expand like that, but when it was on the ground and it was cold, it actually retracted and got smaller. And so because of that,
So it wasn't this big?
so gas leaked from this constantly because of that.
When it shrunk?
Yeah, when the metal shrunk on the ground. So as we enter the hangar area, there's the flight simulators down there. There's the space, they call it the Dynetics NASA Artemis.
You can go
It's like a
inside
lander.
there?
Yeah, you can go inside there, see what it's like in the...
Go down.
Now here's another spy plane up there. That's called a U-2 spy plane. Yep.
Look. This is actually the people Armed Forces. Yeah.
Me too. No, it's not. But you're going to learn the name of it when we go down there. Let's go over here. Here's Operation Overflight, the Francis Gary Powers story. In 1960, during Operation Overflight, he was a civilian pilot flying for the CIA, and he was shot down over Soviet Union, which is now called Russia. And the Powers' capture was subsequent trial for espionage soured an already tense relationship between Russia and the United States. And that's what sparked the Cold War.
What's that? What's that?
And that was called the U-2 incident. That was when the U-2 was shot down. And this was the guy who was shot down. That's his flight suit. He had to wear this flight suit in that aircraft because he was flying at such a high altitude.
That doesn't look comfortable.
The pressure suit was specifically designed for U-2 pilots to prevent expansion of body fluids at low air pressures. A pilot would wear the tight-fitting suit up to 12 hours and could lose for about 4 pounds of body weight per flight through perspiration, which means sweating. So there's his high altitude pressure suit, helmet, and
Why is
the suit that they wore. And so this was his actual suit, I guess. Yep. And here's the camera.
Did they use?
So this is that U-2 that they were talking about. Here's a camera. This is a picture from the camera of a U-2.
Wow, you can see from.
Yep.
You can see the green tree.
You see this right here? U-2 photographs of Soviet installations. So that's what the pictures that they were taking from space, and that's what they would look like. And they got a lot of detailed information. And this is a U-2 film canister, because back then they didn't have digital cameras like this one. They had like film cameras, but they were very high, they're very powerful, with really good lenses, and they took very accurate pictures. But that's the film canister right here, and that's the film that they would look at, and they would review the pictures to see what the enemy was up to, like atomic bomb manufacturing and things like that.
Can we go downstairs?
And this right here, guess what those are?
What?
Take a guess.
Landing gear?
Landing gear, that's right. And where
Those
would
are
they
the
put them?
front landing gear
Where would they put those landing gear?
in the.
It was on the U-2. See right there? At the end of the when it actually was sitting on the ground, the wingtips would almost touch the ground. And so they put those on there to tow the aircraft so the wingtips didn't touch the ground. And then they had a Powers trial and imprisonment. They imprisoned him. So they shot him down. The Soviet Union captured him, and then they imprisoned him. Probably tortured him too.
Well, it said he was gonna be
But they did let him. He did get home eventually.
So they let him back to his.
But he wasn't even military. He was working for the CIA as a civilian pilot. Think about that.
He was in the Air Force.
Oh, he was at some point? Yeah.
And then
That's where he got his initial training.
Yeah.
But great U-2 information and spectacular. I've never seen one of these in person, so it's wonderful to see. This is a kind of a copy of the SR-71. So you can touch the screen to explore it. Just tap it. There. Now that's what it looks like on the inside of an SR-71.
How do you fly this?
You don't fly it. It's just what it looks like. You can push buttons and stuff. Tap camera to start a mission. That's the camera. Locate the SAC Museum. See, there it is, the SAC Museum, and then you press start. There you go. Now that's where we are, right there in the middle of there. Tap an area to zoom. So just tap any area there. Okay, there it is. That's Omaha. You zoomed into Omaha. Oh, I think that's as far as it goes. So navigate to the SAC Museum. So now that you see the museum, see that green arrow? The green arrow down there? Push that.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the SAC Museum. Now tap the SAC Museum to spy on visitors. Oh, they're going to spy on us? Oh no. Go ahead and click it. No, the green. Where it's green. There you go. They're spying on us right here. That's the top of your head.
Look up.
Oh my goodness. There's a camera right there. It is staring at your head. Oh
Can you
no.
wave, Sarah? Wave.
They can see you from space. That was great. We sent that picture of you to Mom.
Oh,
SR-71. These were the flight suits of the SR-71 flight
what happened to that
pilot
person's
and
hands?
the engineer or the co-pilot.
What happened? Did they take them?
They're just mannequins, Matthew.
Did they put them right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the gloves.
Level 1.
It's the glass elevator. The Willy Wonka elevator.
Yeah.
Whoa!
That was good.
Now let me go area here, and you can have a SAC lunch cafe, and that's pretty cool. Anybody need to go to the restroom? Because they have super cool restrooms in here.
I do.
Looks like you're going into a video game.
Yeah.
Got some rides over here.
I
Look at that, it's a giant light box. Someone wrote something in it. What does it say? Tammy Agnes. Hello, Tammy Agnes from Nebraska or wherever you're from. Over here, we got some of the space capsules. Some of the space capsules from earliest space flights. Look at that. Did you know they had a monkey in space? His name was Ham, the Astro Chimp. Ham, also known as Ham the Astro Chimp, was the first hominid launched into space as part of the American space program on January 31st, 1961. Yeah, they had 40 chimpanzee astronaut or astro chimps. And then they had some dogs that they sent up into space first, back in the 1950s, Matthew. A long time ago.
And the space station makes its complete trip.
So they had to think of everything when they went up to space, Matthew. So right here, we have a hose connection panel for their flight suits. Look at this, fecal containment kit. So if they had to poop, they pooped in that.
The rest of the space station will house
And here's a food pouch, and they can hydrate it and then eat that stuff. And there's a very expensive camera called a Hasselblad camera that they used. So they had a lot of work that they had to do to figure out how to do space flight and how to get to space using these capsules. And remember, these capsules, Matthew, were on top of the rockets that they blasted into space. So there's a mock-up of the rocket. This is the Apollo 11.
There's the
And
spacecraft.
that's the spacecraft, that's right.
I'm going to be an astronaut.
You're going to be astronaut.
I think
Yeah.
you're going to have
This was
to go
on the
for
Hornet.
water training.
The USS Hornet, the aircraft carrier in
Way.
in Alameda, California right now.
You know,
They actually
we're gonna
have
go
that
to a water
trailer
training.
that they took that picture
And when
in
you
that
take
museum.
off, it's space absolutely goes right in.
If you believe they put a man on the moon.
That square in that tube.
You see the difference in spacecraft from American and Russian?
That one has holes in it.
Yeah, well, that's how they made it. There's a Russian helmet, space helmet. Yastreb spacesuit helmet. There's a film canister that they use, an 8mm. And there's a Soyuz 1 rocket, astronauts. So this is the United States rocket. You can kind of see what's inside here. Like this was an actual capsule, so you can kind of see what's inside there. It's pretty old, dusty, dirty. The inside of the capsule. This is all the gear and the equipment and the connections and electrical systems pneumatic systems, and all the systems that they needed to actually fly. They had a computer too in here. But you can see the different change from the beginning to the final design of the capsule that went into space. And here's computers that NASA used in their flight center. Beep bop boop beep 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 boop.
What would this be called?
That was probably a telephone handset. And then here we got some Russian flight suits. An American flight suit and a Russian flight suit. You see the variance
Where is
between the two?
American? Oh, there's the American, that one
Yeah.
with the American flag.
That's right. And this is what it was like to be in the living room in a Nebraska house, watching the moon.
Back then,
So there's just some information and some of the toys that the kids would have. And then
was
this
this
is
way back
an actual living space of a an average Nebraska house. You know, they had the comfy couch and the food trays for their TV dinners. And there's the brand new TV screen back there. It's pretty clear. I don't think that's a real TV from the 50s, you? And the old fan sitting there.
He said that yesterday was the day that I felt the proudest to be an American.
And the lava lamp.
Well, when he said that, I was.
So this is the back end of
But
a
all of a sudden,
tanker refueling probe.
we had done.
And this is the back end of a NASA spacecraft. The X-38 CRV. I wonder if Honda got that name from them. This project was a series of prototype vehicles used to develop technology to build and operate a space station crew return vehicle. So the beginnings of what? Space shuttle.
The boom's hanging down, and you can tell the pilot he's got to go up and down.
did you know that the people that flew space shuttles were wearing an orange suit?
Orange suit. That's
Just
the
like
modern
this
day
big thing?
suit. There's some more space.
Space.
That's right, the space shuttle. That's a pretty cool model, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Space
huge.
shuttle model with its large fuel tank
It's huge.
and the two booster rockets.
Yeah, and they separated, and then the tank,
That's right.
and then
And then
the big orange fuel tank.
What kind of stuff would they put in the
separated.
cargo bay of the space shuttle?
The satellite.
Satellites. What else? What is that thing up there?
The National Space Shuttle.
That is a space station
Oh,
floating around in space.
So right now it's
Yeah,
up in
International Space Station.
So right
That's how
now
it was
it's
built.
up in space.
Yeah. That's one of the oldest. They called it the flying banana. Why do you think they call it the flying banana?
It looks like a banana.
It looks like a banana, a silver banana. But it was a dual rotor helicopter, which means there's two rotors. And here's a flight suit, or not a flight suit, a swimsuit for scuba. NASA flight suit.
NASA has an airplane they call the KC-135, or that's what it used to be called. We bought a new airplane.
So this was a train. This was the training center, or a training simulator for the space shuttle. But they have it closed.
This is the.
You can see in it though. Does it look familiar? Have you seen this before?
Is this the simulator?
Yeah, it's a simulator trainer for the space shuttle.
So
That's what the real space shuttle, the cockpit looks like in the space shuttle up here. And this is the space shuttle diagram of all the compartments and stuff inside it. And what do you think this is? What's it made of?
Tire.
Space shuttle tire. Which space shuttle? It says right here.
American.
Discovery.
Discovery.
Discovery. Very round, very shiny. Made by Michelin.
It's very old too.
Very old. And here's some satellites that they launch into space. So here's what they would look like. They had solar panels on it to charge the batteries inside there. So they can do things while they were up there and communicate different things, right? Another KC-135, I believe, refueling aircraft, just like they had in the one on the base in Topeka, Combat Air Museum. And this, I believe, is called the Globemaster aircraft. They got a plaque on the other side. I like that you can actually walk around it and underneath it.
Yeah.
There's a KC-97 Strato Freighter aerial refueling tanker. Here's one of the aircraft engines, and look, it's cut open. See, it's cut open.
Why did
To
they
see
cut
the
it
internal
open?
components to train people like you on how the engines were put together, so they can work on them and learn how to
Well, I'm going to
work
be
on
a
them.
cop. So.
You're gonna be a cop, okay? But you still want to learn how to work on stuff.
Yeah.
Look at all these gears inside here.
I'm going to be a
This is the turbo fan
I am going to be
and
a
the intake.
astronaut.
So this is the carburetors.
I am going to be an
You're
astronaut.
going to be an astronaut. That's right. So the aircraft called the Flying Banana is actually the Boeing Vertal CH-21B Workhorse, the troop carrier rescue helicopter.
Why do they
And
call it
it's-
the flying banana?
Because, well, we'll look at it again, but you can see it on this picture. It is in the shape of a what?
Banana.
Yeah, flying banana. So they nicknamed it the Flying Banana. But it's one of the first helicopters that were used with like the twin rotors successfully for a long time. And you saw its replacement, which was the Chinook. Remember the Chinook?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before the Chinook, there was that up there. And the Chinook was much safer. They're still flying versions of the Chinook. This is the flying boxcar. Why would they call it the flying boxcar?
Because it looks like a box car.
What's a boxcar on? What's it reference to? How about a train car? Boxcar.
You can actually go inside.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they actually have it open today. You can go inside. Let's see how the hatch is open. Like the back end of it opens. And they could load, you can even load a Jeep in here. Cargo and personnel. No, too small for a tank. Does it look familiar though?
Yeah.
Does it kind of look like that helicopter over in the Combat Air Museum?
Yeah.
It does. Without the seat.
There's the cockpit where the pilot and the engineer and the co-pilot would sit. Don't run. All right. Is that neat? It's an airplane. And they can fill it full of stuff and move it somewhere. Look at the aircraft over here. These are models. This one's called the B-58 Supersonic Bomber. Why do they call it supersonic? Because it went faster than the speed of
Light.
sound.
Sound.
We're not at the light speed yet. Maybe. If we are, we won't know about it. And what do you think this plane was?
No idea.
This plane was an E-4 National Airborne
And
Operations
that's the plane
Center.
we were just in. That's
So
the
if there's
plane.
wartime situation, that airplane would be flying and they would do operations in it. And there's KC-10A. There's a cargo. Look how much cargo they can put in that airplane, that KC-10.
Wow.
You put jeeps, trucks,
Tanks.
trailers,
Tanks.
more jeeps, and a bunch of supplies.
Probably some
That
tanks.
all fit.
Probably tanks.
So
too.
this is the outside of that aircraft that you were just in. Look how big this propeller is.
That's the size of you.
Of the U,
That's the size of you.
oh, the
Dad.
size of me. I don't think so, but sure. Huh.
I guess it's bigger.
There's a KC-97G,
Where was that simulator?
the Boeing EC-135 Charlie Looking Glass. And this is a C-54D Skymaster.
Simulator.
And that's where they had the 117, but they moved it. And it's a MiG-21F. This is the aircraft engine of this MiG. Now remember, the Russians weren't communicating with the United States about how to engineer their airplanes
Why?
because they were enemies. They considered themselves being an enemy, the United States to be enemy of the Russian Soviet Union. So they built this off of their own engineering, learning, and training. And look how similar it looks to the aircraft engine of the United States.
Wow.
But this is their modern aircraft that they created. And it's very similar in size, shape, color. They even use bare aluminum and steel,
I want to be able to sit in that thing.
just like the Americans did. MiG-21F. That's really neat. You can just walk right under these aircraft.
Where is that blue simulator?
Don't bump your head. This is what they're renovating right now. So they're rebuilding, renovating, creating more displays. That is a Vulcan. It's a British aircraft. See how big it is?
Yeah. And
So this is the Avro Vulcan Siddeley, Avro Hawker Siddeley Mark II medium bomber, also nicknamed the Vulcan. That's the aircraft that's being renovated in a restoration gallery. Can you see that? Yeah.
no,
They're missing.
how would it?
But that's a British aircraft, and it's here in the museum. This is another Russian MiG. I believe this is the Foxbat.
It looks
MiG-23. It says right there. MiG-23. It's camoed. We can maybe take a peek in the cockpit. It's the Restoration Gallery. Now, does this aircraft look familiar to you guys a little bit? Does this aircraft look familiar to you guys a little bit?
yeah.
Where else did we see one recently?
Combat Air Museum.
Oh,
But it had that cool duck on it.
it's got a cool duck. Yeah, I mean,
It's just
and a snowman.
No snowman.
So they don't have any plaques or identification of types of engine.
What's the
This is a pretty large aircraft engine. I
How
think
far away is the Combat Air Museum from here?
very far.
Huh?
Very far. Like 2 hours. There's a R540 piston engine. And that was used in what kind of aircraft? And here's another one. I believe this is like a Mustang type of engine. This aircraft engine actually has a plaque. Rolls-Royce Olympus 301 turbojet. When was it made? Can you read this?
I am ready to eat 100.
Testing began in 1950, and it was used in the Electric Canberra test bed in 1953. And they have an amazing diorama of the Arsenal of Democracy manufacturing plant. What kind of airplane was this?
What kind of plane is this?
It's that one right there. The B-29 Super Fortress. This is like a layout of the manufacturing plant of the B-29. The B Super Fortress.
B-29 Super.
See the cars that were driven back then when this thing was being manufactured and flown.
Little ambulance over there.
No, that's an emergency meter.
Here's a bomb that would actually be on this aircraft. What kind of bomb do you think that was? There's a 2,000-pound bomb. TNT explosive. Date March of 1943.
It's a pork to
And there, right there, is the Fat Man, the atomic bomb used on Nagasaki. Explosive force equivalent of 21,000 tons of TNT. So 2,000, 21,000. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of power there. And there's the little boy, the atomic bomb used on Hiroshima. Explosive force equivalent of 16,000 tons of TNT.
Where's the bomb bay?
Right under here. Oh, I think I dropped everything.
That's the bomb.
Oh, that's the bomb bay. Not much lighting in it today for some reason.
I'm in the bomb bay.
That's where the bombs were stored. So this is the aft bomb bay, which means there's a forward bomb bay, isn't there? And what do you think that would be?
Back bay.
In the front of the aircraft, the forward and the aft bomb bays.
I'll go in the forward bomb bay.
You are?
Yep.
How'd you get over to the forward bomb bay? Are you coming back to the aft?
Yeah.
You see that tube up there?
Yeah.
So that tube was a tube that a person could slide from the front of the aircraft to the back of the aircraft, because this bomb bay took up the space of the entire fuselage in this part of it, and then it would slide over to the tunnel, get to the end, and then they'd be able to access the back part of the aircraft. And this one's easier to get into, and they have a nice light in here. And it's kind of still dark, but this is an example of bombs that were loaded into the slide rails. And so when they launched, they would just go straight down. And there's that tube, pressurized. It's a pressurized tube. And so this is the inside of the bomber.
Can we go to?
Isn't that amazing? This thing is old. It's very old.
Can we go to that blue simulator?
But they still fly one of these. I think it's the Fifi aircraft. This one's the Lucky Lady.
Lucky lady.
The Lucky Lady.
There would be a ladder.
It's actually in the bomb bay. So this is the front. This is where the aircraft landing gear goes. Isn't that neat? I mean, it's so clean you could eat off this thing. We can go back to this bomb bay. Come here. And that right there is the hatch to get into the cockpit.
How would you get up there?
Well, they'd have a ladder.
There were like
A removable ladder that they would get access to it. So, see if we can reach up there and look inside. We missed one in the aircraft helicopters, and it's right up there. It's kind of hard to see the way they put it in here, but I think if we go upstairs, you'll see it a little better. Just to review some of the kiddie rides here at the museum. You got the Red Baron and a tank and a biplane. And back here, one of my favorites, of course, the F-14. And on the other side, a space shuttle. And here we have a helicopter. Probably goes up and down. Pull the lever. And another aircraft. Those were the kid rides located in one of the hangars. So here we are at the lunch table, getting ready to have our meal. Some of the things we have are the berries, the Chex Mix, Frito flavor twists, and some grape.
I think I've had those before.
I was thirsty.
I
That look familiar?
feel scary when I look up.
Yeah.
Say what? Hot goods.
We got the goods. We got a burger.
Where's my bomb hot dog?
I think that's yours, right? So we're enjoying this little fancy meal we got here. The Nighthawk burger, which has chipotle mayo and pepper jack. And we got some corn dog bombs right here. Corn dog bombs. And so far, it's pretty good. It's pretty delicious. Let's go ahead and try the French fries. Good French fries. And then there's the burger.
Why are you showing everything right now?
Number 412.
Pretty good burger.
For your time. That her words sound like.
What do you think of your burgers? You gonna try the corn dog now?
Yes.
Oh, the corn bombs? What do they call them? Corn dog bombs?
Corn dog.
What do you think?
They're pretty good.
I tried one. It tastes like a Vienna sausage with no salt.
Yeah.
No. Ah! Ah! Oh, this is the history of the museum itself. They did a really great job. I didn't realize this is a part of the wall. They moved this whole museum from another place. Remember that Offutt Air Base? That's where I tried to go to, but it wasn't there. That was just an old air base. They moved that whole museum, all the aircraft, over to this base. And they built the foundation of them. They had to prepare all the aircraft to move. There's a project plane right there. Preparing to move the aircraft in 95. Temporary restoration structure. And they called it Twinkie. There's the temporary structure. Isn't that cool? How much work they put into it. Moving the aircraft. They even repainted the B-1B. Because most B-1Bs were that color for a long time. And then they had different schemes that they would paint them green, desert air, like. And that is an SR-71 Blackbird aircraft engine. This is where the aircraft land right here and take off. Yep, this is the Flight Simulator Center. But it looks like you have to be a certain height. What do we have here? An interactive mobile app. That's cool. Do you guys know what this is supposed to be? Whoa, these deep steps. Watch your head, guys. Dynetics and Lados Company. Not the space shuttle with a Lado landing craft or something? This right here is the F-117 Nighthawk. Isn't that a cool aircraft? You know what they called it? The F-117 Nighthawk. This was the stealth fighter.
There
Can you see the engine air tank? See this? This is the B-58 Alpha, the Convair supersonic bomber, and it looks fast, doesn't it?
It does.
See what aircraft is this, Matthew?
There's another.
Here's another bomber. Look,
Hey,
they had to get in from the top on this aircraft,
how did
and
they-
that was the bomb it carried. Look at it. Look at the size of that bomb. That's a thermonuclear hydrogen bomb. It could blow up a whole city.
It could blow up a whole city.
A whole city.
That is a deadly bomb.
Yeah, the B-47E.
That's a really deadly bomb.
Yeah. AGM 21 29 Alpha. B-52. And this is the Intruder support bomber B-57. It's manufactured by Martin Company in Baltimore, Maryland. 1969, it was retired. That's the B-36J Intercontinental Bomber Peacemaker. The size of this aircraft, absolutely incredible. And here's the Bombay. Not lit up today. There's that tube. Not many people go through. All the way to the back. 2 foot by 80-foot tube. Here's the payload, which is absolutely incredible. And the XF-85 Goblin fighter escort that could literally be carried by the aircraft, dropped, flown, and they tested to try to see if they could reattach the aircraft after flying it, but that didn't go so well. Convair B-36D Peacemaker. An XF-85 Goblin model escort aircraft. And there they go, down the tunnel.
Is it the biggest bomber that ever served? Believe it or not, the answer is
Well, hello.
there was another bigger bomber in the fleet. And while it never dropped a bomb in anger, it was the backbone of the Strategic Air Command, SAC, in its early years. The plate was the Convair B-36 Peacemaker. His wingspan was 50.8 There was one built
You made it! Yay!
You did it! Yay! All right. The B-36 replica. And it's just partial. This is not even the whole length of it.
Oh. So long.
Oh.
That name came into
Go, Kate. You probably get a pilot assist if to pull up a little bit. The Korean War. Ooh, it's an old aircraft.
Well, you're 40 pounds. I don't know where that
I'm curious as to this aircraft. It's the RB-45 Charlie Tornado. Down. Make your head towards the top. There you go.
Okay, right.
And go.
She ruined for me to read that fast.
And it's a girl. And now it's time for me to go down this tunnel. And let's go. Shall we? Woo! Here we go. Down the tunnel. And it's a boy. Not so easy on the back. You gotta be careful.
Okay, that's just.
What?
I was just holding it.
I was just holding it. I was just holding it.
Man,
I
you
was
don't
just
want-
holding it.
Excuse me.
Excuse you. No, we're done with this tunnel.
Here, there's more.
We're going on. We're gonna let other people play on the tunnel. Let's go.
He's already.
The B-36 tunnel. What a great replica. That was neat. And very difficult. On the old kidneys. Who are you?
Sarah?
Oh.
What's that?
It's just something to look in. So you can go up there and look into the aft area of the aircraft.
Could you grab my phone?
Pretty neat. Very not lit up well, but pretty neat. Either way. You know what they would do? They would attach it to this aircraft right here, and it would take off. And while it was in the air, a pilot would be in here, and they would unhook him, and he would be flying this aircraft.
Why does it have that strange looking hook?
Because what they wanted to do is reattach the aircraft back to the bomber. And so they made that hook to try to get back on board with the aircraft after they were done with their flight. It was a very small aircraft, a lot of engine, very tiny fuel tanks, so it couldn't go very far or long. So they wanted to make sure that it could reattach to the aircraft to get it home. 5N is in Nancy. Mitchell. And there's the full aircraft. So that's what it would look like from the camera, looking down from the bomber's position. The bombardier's view. That's what the bombardier would see, looking down from this
What's
aircraft
this little thing?
to drop bombs. And this is the model of the B-25 from the inside.
Are you just sticking your hand in there?
So I'm recording the inside. They removed all these panels so you can actually see inside this aircraft. There's the bomb bay. See how the bomb's attached to the rails inside the bomb bay?
Were we in here?
Not in this one, in another bomber. They kind of all look the same. Two Life magazines and some seating. Watch your step. Here's the cockpit. What a cool plane. Bombardier's location. I'm looking for the, oh, there it is. The Republic F-84F. That was an 86. It's actually an F-84. Thunder Streak. Oh, the F-86 is over here. I had it mixed up for some reason. Thunder Streak, the F-84. F is in Frank. It's manufactured by the Republic of Aviation. See, that's the F-86 over there, Matthew. This over here? No? This camouflage one up there?
Yeah.
That is the F-86. And that's the other one, the Republic F-84F. That's the F-86H Henry fighter bomber, manufactured by North American Aviation. Dropped from inventory and flown to the SAC Museum in 1970. That aircraft has been non-flying since 1970. Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp piston engine. Same. This is one of the aircraft I have never seen up close. Two-seater, three-seater. UHF antennas. Got a ball turret at the top. There's a handhold. Used to have a spring in this. Flip up. There's the guns. This is a fighter aircraft. What a beautiful design. Attack 26B, the Invader. Different configurations of the nose. This aircraft was dropped in 1969 as well.
We're gonna explode India. That's what the commander said. Explode India. The commander said to explode
Are you ready to fly? These are junior pilots apparently. I don't know if they're qualified to fly. Now this is one special aircraft. It's a Voodoo McDonnell F-101B all-weather fighter. Manufactured by McDonnell. Delivered to the U.S. Air Force in 1960 and dropped from inventory in only 10 years, 1970. And we have the canopy open, but we're unable to get up there. It's a very tall aircraft. And that's the T-33A. Nicknamed the T-Bird. Advanced trainer, manufactured by Lockheed Aircraft. Delivered to the U.S. Air Force December 8th, 1958. It was dropped from inventory and transferred to the SAC Museum in December 1972. Great job restoring it. And there's one of the engines of this giant bomber. J-57 turbojet. The Pratt & Whitney. World's first jet engine to exceed 10,000 pounds of thrust. Got a whole video, the engines.
But then we started losing power on another one. So now we're going down to 2, and we just don't do well with 2.
There's the turbocharger, air intake, first aircraft, and it's actually exposed. It's really neat. The Cyclone Wright R1820-97 9-cylinder radial air-cooled engine, 1,200 horsepower. Well, they got it roped off, but it's okay. It's been through it. It's a tail gunner. Houndal, air-to-surface standoff missile. Mid-1950s. Increased the ability of the B-52s to attack heavily defended targets by striking anti-aircraft defenses in the path of the aircraft itself. That's amazing. And here it is. There's the giant supersonic engine. The B-52 Stratofortress heavy bomber. Manufactured in Seattle, Washington. Delivered to the SAC on June 28, 1955. And retired in 1965. 10 years. I love the specifications that they put on these placards. There's a lot of good information. And the size and the scope of this aircraft is just absolutely amazing. Some kids running around here. Someone needs to control their kid. Here it is. Cheese. All right, I think we're good to go. We didn't get any simulators. Nothing was working today. Matthew's too small for the simulators. Kind of a little bit sad. They didn't have their AR working today. So that was it for the SAC Aerospace Museum here in Ashland, Nebraska. It was a great time. We had a lot of fun. Kids were ready to go. We got a long drive back to Kansas City, about 3 hours. And what a great place. We got a membership. It didn't cost much more than what we would pay for normally. And we get to do more things in other places. So definitely a worthwhile adventure if you are in the area or are traveling through like we would normally do. But it's a great time. So that's it for this video. God bless you. And enjoy your day and happy museum hunting.